N'afọ nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ. Angels.
Mama Sebru Agwaptal Maria. O wetuli meseni shenge monso. Ekene Maria jipel na Brazil. Sebru anonye. Moronine, Oja Zingos, Bunga forgive Jesu. Maria Jason, Nenke Chubu, Reverend Ninja, Peter Namano, Amen. Neju Odibowani ko Sebrowa. Koyele Kisiku. Ekene Maria, Idipel na Gracia, Usebru Anonyeli, Idingos next Boronine, Oja Zingos, Bunga forgive Jesu. Maria Jason, Nenke Chubu, Reverend Ninja, Okwe Melaro, Ekene Maria, Egypt na Gracia, Osebru Anonyeli, Edengos Nechti Boronine, Ojazingos, Buma forgive Jesu. Maria Jason, Nenke Chubu, Yabalai Bondijayo, Kita Namano, Amen. Yabalanya, your own Nenke Chukujaso, Ayo. Aina yobi ojuku kiriye glasa imodai kaimundi anja kuteluzoma wemali wala rupesi mwali sina afia nubia webata nusuna mbiti mawuya stena Kristi dimenaye amen. Otitodere na mwana monso etali nizabitale bonine luwebebe amen. Otitodere na mwana monso etali nizabitale bonine luwebebe amen. Otitodere na mwana monso etali nizabitale bonine luwebebe amen. Kabulo bindini nekwere no galaga. Amen.
Onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ. Ka Chineke ji ike niile gọzie ụnụ. Nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ.
Amen.
Ekpere abịala ga-esite na nkwado ndị Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited Nnodi. Ndị na-alụpụta Love Bite Bread nọ na nọmba 1 Nwosu Mmadụka Close, Umuru Nnodi. 081-4982-8254. Diezani FM, 24 hours of informative, educative, and entertainment programs. Can't stop, won't stop. Diezani 103.5 FM. Listen to news updates on Diezani immediately after engine 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Diezani FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
Good evening and welcome to Abona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Monday, the second day of October 2023, and the time is 3 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ifeanyi Ekeze is my name. The headlines. Anambra cleric calls on NLC and TUC to avoid strike action in the current economic situation. Independence Day, Nwifuru flags off palliatives distribution in Ebonyi. Amidst economic uncertainties in Nigeria, Anambra cleric advised youth on multiple scale acquisition. Supreme Court, Governor Oti funding peterobispeech case, says Abia Youth Interest Group. UK Prime Minister Sunak says there are no plans for now to send British troops to Ukraine. Now, details. Anambra cleric calls on NLC and TUC to avoid strike action in the current economic situation. Amidst the effect of fuel subsidy removal biting harder on Nigerians, Anambra clergyman calls for prayers on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to succeed. Nigerians are enduring the inflation of goods and services as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy, which brought about the proposed indefinite strike by the NLC and the TUC. Meanwhile, the federal government on Sunday, 1st October 2023, met with the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress on measures to address the dispute arising from the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirits. Irrespective of the challenges Nigerians are confronted with, the cleric affirmed that the responsibility of praying for our leaders remains an obligation of born-again Christians. The federal government is hopeful of the organized labor suspending its planned indefinite strike, saying the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress will consider the government's offer, including a 35,000 naira pay increase for all treasury-paid federal workers. Pastor of Peculiar People advised NLC to shelve the strike action. Here is a report.
On the way of lamentations of Nigerians on the effect of subsidy removal amidst challenges of insecurity, as well as dwindling nature of the naira against the dollar, affirms that Christians still owe leaders the obligation of praying for them.
My own view as a born again Christian, that is said in everything we give thanks to God. After the challenges we are having in this country, we owe it a duty to God to thank Him. So my view is that we are thankful to He knows what we are going through, and He has solution to it. His own appointed time, right?
Pastor D.C. Abuma of Peculiar People Gospel Mission, Enugu, also commended the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on his policy so far, as he prays for him to succeed in his administration.
Our president is our president. Whatever happens, we have no other president in Nigeria except him. So, and I know him a duty of for him clearly, so that God will help him to do better job than he's doing now. He's trying.
On the free and compulsory education, the Anambra suggested what the government must do to ensure quality education.
Thank God for Anambra State, the education offer. We have so much. No matter how educated one is, if such a person chooses to begin knowledge in life, he will see you back. As government is sponsoring some other things in the state, I think I humbly suggest if government to offer a kind of help for every church that will help you, because you cannot get only people without a godly church. So the government can help any church or church in the state. So asking them and encouraging them to move major so much on morality.
From Enugu, Martin Ifeanyi reporting.
In other news, Independence Day, Nwifuru flags off palliatives distribution in Ebonyi. Governor Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State on Sunday flagged off the distribution of palliatives to the people of the state in a bid to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal. Newsman reports that the distribution was part of activities to mark Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary and the 27th year of the creation of the state. Nwifuru, at the occasion, said that the distribution would be replicated at the 13th local government areas of the state. The governor disclosed that the palliatives, including bags of rice, fertilizers, sewing and grinding machines, cooking stoves, insecticide, treated nets. He commended President Bola Tinubu on his efforts at revamping the economy and urged Nigerians to be patient with his policies. About 9,000 victims of the 2022 flood disaster in the state would also benefit from the distribution, he said. Amidst economic uncertainties in Nigeria, Anambra cleric advised youth on multiple skill acquisition. The youth have been advised on what to do to survive in this current economic situation by a cleric who believes that one skill is not enough in the modern day Nigeria. The man of God who celebrated 63rd independence of Nigeria with prayers for a better Nigeria with Mountain of Fire congregation Enugu, who also advised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on good governance to prevent the spate of coup spreading across Africa from getting to Nigeria. Here is a report.
The critical state of the nation of Nigeria on her 63rd Independence Day celebration has been a worrisome issue for the international community as the spate of coup spreads across Africa with challenges of insecurity, high cost of prices as a result of a removal as its effects bites harder on the populace of Nigeria. Anambra clergyman gives message of hope on the recent happenings in the country.
By Sergeant Joseph Long, the thank for Nigeria independence. At least we are now 63 years. You know, on your Anambra 63 years, that was the Mazi. So we are much enough, but what is happening currently in Nigeria is not giving joy. The masses are suffering. Even the government are not even trying to hear the affairs of the masses. My desire that I will not even embrace it, because when we talk about coup or what happened to Nigeria to Nigeria, now we see the height of things are very cost. Height of living, what it has spending, people are dying in hunger, a lot of rituals because people want to make it. And there's no creativity of job for those who are being graduates. So you see many graduates working up and down, but no job. So the government is just to know how to create the avenue to give our youth job.
Pastor Samuel Nebife of Mountain of Fire Ministries Enugu Zone points out how graduates must adjust to the current economic situation in the country.
Our education system does not need overhauling. Because, for example, I am a graduate, but since I know that I am in this school, I am embarking on, could not help me. What I need to do is to have a skill, to learn a skill that will help, because once I finish for school, in this area, there is nothing I want white collar job this time. Even though if you finish school and being graduated, there's no job, nobody is ready to cover your job unless you have no people that is on top. Even though you know people that is on top, you must have highways. So when there is no job, you still make a room or create job and also to employ other people that can even help the economy of Nigeria to move forward.
He also advised the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress on their proposed indefinite strike.
My advice to the NLC is that going for strike is not the best option. If the federal government could go for negotiation and lower the price of it, because the whole thing that caused these things high price of fuel. But if you know how to work on fuel, for what you're buying 10 naira now, you cannot buy it 200 naira. Because the person who bought a product can add his own money to sell and to pay for house. Yes, not only to make money, but to pay for house rent and make from everything. Yes. So the government should go for negotiation with the NLC. I message and public to Nigeria that my friend that God will have mercy on Nigeria, and that God will give our leaders wisdom to move the nation forward. Because most of our leaders, they are only for themselves. They are not even considering the masses. Something like they are more even better than Nigeria. The economy, their money have value now than Nigerian money. But now, you see that we are not going nowhere. My encouragement is that the government should know what to do. Because if they do not do anything, a kind of protest they can even affect the government and people.
From Enugu, Martin Efanishuku AKC reporting.
Supreme Court, Governor Oti funding Peterobispeech case, says Abia Youth Interest Group. Governor Alex Oti of Abia State has been accused of funding the court cases of the presidential bannerman of the Labour Party, Mr. P2B, this accusation was made by the All Progressive Youths of Abia under the aegis of the Abia Youth Interest Group platform. The group said Oti is using the state's fund to bankroll Obi's case and that his administration needs more transparency since he assumed office. The group's spokesperson, Dr. Stephen Okwa, said the Labour Party-led Abia government should bear in mind that the state's youths are watching and will resist any acts that will endanger the well-being of Abia people. Oti, a renowned economist, banker, and investor, says cutting the cost of governance is a priority for his administration. Now we move over to the foreign scene. UK Prime Minister Sunak says there are no plans for now to send British troops to Ukraine. There are no immediate plans to deploy military instructors to Ukraine, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said on Sunday, rolling back from the comments by his defense minister who had suggested troops could carry out training in the country. To date, Britain and its allies have avoided a formal military presence in Ukraine to reduce the risk of a direct conflict with Russia. British Defense Minister Grant Shapps, who was appointed to the role last month, said in an interview with newsmen that he wanted to deploy military instructors to Ukraine, in addition to training Ukrainian armed forces in Britain or other Western countries. Hours after that interview was published, Sunak said there was no immediate plans to send British troops to Ukraine. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev on Sunday said any British soldiers training Ukrainian troops in Ukraine would be legitimate targets for Russian forces. Britain has provided 5-week military training courses to around 20,000 Ukrainians over the past year and intends to train a similar number going forward. This is why we draw the curtain on news updates on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Anambra cleric calls on NLC and TUC to avoid strike action in the current economic situation. Independence Day, with the flags of palliatives distribution in Ebonyi. Amidst economic uncertainties in Nigeria, Anambra cleric advises youth on multiple skill acquisition. Supreme Court, Governor Oti funding P2B's case says Abia youth. UK Prime Minister Sunak says there are no plans for now to send British troops to Ukraine. You just listened to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyi Shuku Ekeze. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
you can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets? Our society in general, street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebona FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be, Street Report is here to make sense of it all. Street Report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifeanyi Shuku number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebona 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On Emas in Ebona the corner 24/7, 24/7.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride.
let's go! It's the morning drive on 103.5 Diezani DFM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio.
From 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Getting your morning inspired, be informed. Let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Efanshu, aka Meta.
And Christy F.E. Emenari, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
On the morning drive.
173.5 FM.
So guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you.
Oh, wait.
J-Swag is sending you